Hola, hoy vamos a hablar acerca del verbo ser con adjetivos. ¿Listos? Muy importante. An infinitive is a unconjugated verb. Every infinitive ends in AR, ER, or IR. For example, said, which is what we're talking about today. So our verbs said and estad, both of these verbs mean to be. There are tricks that you can learn to know when to use said and when to use estad. We will go over those later. For right now, we're going to focus on said. So to conjugate said, you'll take the verb said, which is your infinitive, and you're going to change it into soy. Once you do that, it's no longer an infinitive because it doesn't end in the ER. Soy means I am. Now, if I want to say that you are, I will say eres. If I want to say that he or she is, I'll use es. Or maybe I'm talking to my boss and I want to show respect. So if I talk to him or her about what he or she is doing, then I'm going to say es. Now, if I want to talk about you and myself and we're together, I'm going to use somos. And if we are gossiping about those people over there, then we will use son. Adjectives for a moment. Adjectives are words that describe people or things. You can use the verb said with adjectives to describe what someone is like. For example, Carlos es simpático. Carlos is our subject. Es is our verb ser. Simpático, ending in an O, is our adjective. We ended it in an O because Carlos is masculine. If you look at the example below Carlos, Ana es simpática. Here we ended the adjective with an A to describe Ana because Ana is feminine. So your masculine will end in O and your feminine will end in A. Now if you go over to the side, you have mi clase, y yo. Somos inteligentes. Somos is the verb said conjugated into the nosotros form because I talked about my class and myself. Inteligentes, we made it plural because I talked about more than one subject, my class and myself. The next one, Rosa y Julio, son perezosos. Son is the verb said conjugated, and perezosos is your adjective. Again, here you see that we added the S because I have more than one person that I'm talking about. In Spanish, you don't usually need the subject pronoun if it is clear who the subject is. For example, ¿Cómo es el profesor? Es is talking about the professor. Since you know who I'm talking about, then all you would have to answer back with is es bajo y gracioso. Conjugating the verb said to es tells you who I'm talking about and it tells you when it happened. Profesor is your subject. If you look at your next example, you have ¿Cómo son Leticia y Diego? What are Leticia and Diego like? So I don't have to say Leticia and Diego are. All I would have to do is say son simpáticos. Okay? Here we conjugated the verb said to son to talk about Leticia y Diego. That being more than one, with your adjective, I had to add an S. To say what someone is not like, you're going to put a no in front of the verb. What's our verb? Said. So, no Soy tonto. Soy is said, conjugated. Soy inteligente. Okay? So both situations here, you have said conjugated in the yo form. First, I'm saying I'm not stupid. Then I'm saying I am intelligent. ¿Verdad? Nouns and pronouns in Spanish are divided into genders. Nouns for men and boys are masculine. Amigo, él, and Juan. These are some examples. Nouns and pronouns in Spanish are divided into genders. Nouns for women and girls are feminine. Amiga, ella, and Maria. Those are some examples. So here's something different. Adjectives describe nouns. They have different forms that match or agree with the noun or pronoun in gender. The masculine form of most adjectives ends in an O, while the feminine form adjectives end in an A. I had some tricks to help you to remember when to use said. Here is a word, doctor, that helps you remember when to use said, because each one of these letters stands for a situation in which said is used. For example, D is for date. So if you're talking about what the date is, you'll use said. O is for occupation. C is for characteristics. T is for time. O is for origin. Origin is talking about where you're from or what something is made of. Relation or possession will be for your R. Some examples on how you match the adjective with the noun. Raúl es romántico. Maria es romántica. Notice how the endings of the adjective change to match the noun of the sentence. Adjectives that end in an E have the same masculine and feminine forms. Raúl es inteligente y María es inteligente. So no changes there. Adjectives ending in consonants do not add an A unless they end in OR or are adjectives of nationality. For example, Raúl es intelectual y trabajador. Raúl es español. Now, if we were talking about María, María es intelectual y trabajadora. María es española. So here you can see when we used the adjective that ended in an OR, we added an A. When we talked about her nationality, we added an A. But when we talked about her being intellectual, because L is a consonant, we chose not to add the A. Adjectives also agree with nouns and numbers. An adjective that describes one person or thing is in singular form. When it describes more than one person or thing, it is in its plural form. If the singular form ends in a vowel, add S to make it plural. If it ends in a consonant, add ES. For example, Charlie es alto. Charlie y Matt son altos. The singular form ends in a vowel, add an S to make it plural. If it ends in a consonant, add es. Por ejemplo, Gloria es intelectual. Gloria y Cynthia son intelectuales. Describe a mix of men and women, or boys and girls. Use the masculine plural form of the adjective. So if I have a whole classroom of girls and one stinking boy shows up, now I have to use the masculine form. Would be Carlos y Ana son románticos. Because I have a guy here with the girl, I had to use the masculine form of the adjective. Now, next slide, we're going to do some together, and then you're going to do some on your own. Okay, let's look at our first one. Ricardo es un poco. So you have to ask yourself, is Ricardo masculine or feminine? And is there one Ricardo or is there more than one? One Ricardo, and he's masculine. So remember, your adjective is going to end in an O if it's masculine. So that would make our correct answer to be B. Next one. Sara y Ana son blank. Sara y Ana, is that plural or singular? It's more than one, so it's plural. So that means we know there will be an S. Also, are they masculine or feminine? Feminine. So now you know it has to end in an AS. So that will make our answer to be B again. Next. Eres una persona blank. So let's look at our clues here. I could be asking a boy or I could be asking a girl, right? You don't know, but there are clues. If you look at una and persona, primarily una, okay? Una is ending in an A. So that means that I am talking to a girl and I'm asking her if she is funny. So if she's a girl, she's feminine, and it ends in an A, that means your answer will end in an A. So, again, your answer is B. Okay? So, I did the first 3 for you. You do el próximo 4. Okay? Para tarea. You do the next 4 for your homework. Buena suerte. Adios.